Hello, everyone. Welcome to After Duty Vets, where we discuss what life is like after the military. Hello, everybody. It's Bo. I want to talk a little bit today about returning home from war, what you have to deal with. First off, the first thing is you're happy to be home. You're glad you're out of the war zone. You're there. You're happy to be with your family. You get back. It's all the great. Everybody's proud of you. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. Parties are thrown, beers drank, alcohol is gotten into. You spend time with the family. You reconnect with your spouse or girlfriend, or if they left you while you were there, you find new ones. You're just happy to be at home, happy to be back in the States where you can feel safe. But one of the things is when you get back, you find things have changed. Your family's not the same because you look at them different. Your spouse may have not needed you for certain things. Normally your job is to take care of the car and cut the grass and fix the house. And now he or she has been able to do it the whole time that you were gone, and you find yourself not fitting in anymore. And where's your spot? You're feeling out of place. You feel like you've been not needed. You get back and so much has changed because it's been figured out that you're not really needed because they survived without you. And that can be hard to swallow for some people. You need to find where you fit into the family again. That can be tough, man. That can be hard as hell. So you find out that, your friends have changed. You look at them differently. You look at them differently because of the way you see life now. You look at life differently. Your spouse has changed, like I said before. They don't need you to take care of this and take care of that and do this and do that. And of course, they're glad to have you back to do this stuff, but you're not needed. You feel like you're not needed. I shouldn't say you're not needed. You are needed, but you don't feel like you're needed. You have to find your place again. The kids have changed. The kids have grown. I personally had a child born while I was gone. And, he was 4 months old before I even saw him for the first time. And when I left, my daughter, we were really close. And when I came back, she was so young when I left, she did not know who I was. That hurt, and we have to know that this stuff can play in relationships with your children too if you're not careful. I came back, she looked at me like, who the hell are you? What are you doing in my house? Because I left when she was so young. Let's see, I think she was like 18 months to 2 years. No, she was like 18 months or so when I left. And then I came back and we've got a new baby and, she didn't know who I was. So that was a hard time. Obviously, my wife didn't need me at the time because she had a kid without me. She had a 18-month-old, 18 months plus 9 months going on. But anyway, she had a toddler and had a baby without me being there. So obviously, for the most part, I won't need it, and that's hard to deal with. That's hard to swallow. And you have to decide what you want to do because you have this intimate relationship with these people you were deployed with. And the spouse don't understand why, after you get back home and work yourself back in, why are you going and spending time with your friends? Because spending time with your friends is important to you because they are just as close to you, if not closer, than your spouse. Because you spent so much time in intimate settings with them as far as life experiences. Again, the intimacy piece is shared experiences, is knowing that they're there for you no matter what. There's nothing more intimate than knowing that somebody will take a bullet for you or they will step up for you. So there's nothing more intimate than that. And this is part of the problem. Spouses don't understand why you would rather be with your friends than with them. It's not that you would rather be with them, it's that you feel safe with them because you can talk about your shared experiences and you can have the conversations. Because if your spouse really knew what happened when you're deployed, a lot of times that creates issues in your relationship, which we'll get into more later during these videos that we talk about. Let's talk a little bit about your issues. You might come back with PTSD, that's normal. I can't even imagine living through something like that and it not affecting you. I tell people with PTSD all the time, it's just like your PTSD means that you have a conscience. Because if you didn't have a conscience, you wouldn't have PTSD. And another thing that you need to remember is your PTSD makes you safer. You're the safest person in the room when it comes to PTSD. When you're in an environment, when you're at a party or at some place with a lot of people, you're the safest person in the room because your hypervigilance will keep you safe, and that is your PTSD. So that is important that you understand that. You're not wanting to tell people things, because if you tell your spouse what you might have had to do or the risk that you had to take, they might get mad at you because they don't understand what it's like to be in combat and have that intimacy with those other people. They might get mad because you had to take a risk to save someone else. Why would you take that risk? You could have been injured. You could have not come back to me. You could have... All that stuff goes on. They might not be spoken, but it's thought. They think that kind of stuff. So not everybody, not every spouse does that, but you got to be careful about what they're going to think. So you got to be careful about what you say until you know where their head is at, your spouse's head is at, and your friends. So it's important that you realize that you have to learn to talk about your story, and we'll get into all that later. You don't want to go to parties and social events. Families don't understand. Oh, they're throwing you this big party. You just came back from war, and they're throwing this big party where 200 people are invited, and you're sitting there going, this party's for you, so you feel like you have to go, but you don't want to go because of your PTSD, and you don't want to be in this crowd. Or period, you just don't want to go because you want to be around all those people. But your family thinks that they're doing the right thing. They're doing what you think that they want you to do. And that's okay. Again, I'll get back into that again. Not everybody deals with this because not everybody has been deployed. These are some of the things that people deployed deal with. Again, you got to find out where you belong, and that is an important piece. And one of the biggest issues that a lot of people returning veterans think from combat is whether to get mental health help or not. If you think you got PTSD, it is scary to ask for help because you worry about your career. They can say all day long that, oh, we want you to get help, we want you to get help. But if you got severe PTSD, you're not going to want to get help because of the stigma associated with mental health. A lot of people are worried about their careers. If you're a one-termer, that's a different story. But if you've been in for, 10, 15 years and you've been deployed, and now you're going to mental health to deal with your PTSD, you worry about getting kicked out for your PTSD or being medically retired. And, that's something that will scare the heck out of people. So I think it's important that you realize that you don't make those decisions, you don't get help, and it's normal to not get help because you're worried about your career, and again, there's more to come about all this. But I just wanted to shed a little light on what it might be like when you return home and how you felt. Everybody's different. Everybody looks at things differently. But all the stuff that I just brought up, I have brought up to my combat vets, and they're like, yeah. You get it. You understand what I'm talking about. I'm glad I got somebody that understands it. Okay. Again, that's not the case for everybody. A lot of people feel that way. So, again, I want you to think about everything that I've talked about. And I want you to put it into your life and find out where it fits, And just remember, if you have PTSD, you're not broken. You're bent. You are bent, but we can straighten you out, and we can make you just as strong and just as important and just as useful as you were before your PTSD. So again, take care of yourself, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Disclaimer, I'm a licensed mental health therapist in California. If you're searching for mental health help, please reach out to someone in your state. If you're within California, you can reach me at the email below. And if you're interested in coaching anywhere in the United States, you can reach out below also. These videos are for educational purposes only, and if you're thinking about suicide, please reach out and call 911.